This is Poland Daily Culture. My name is Maria Kądzielska-Koper, and we are having a closer look of the church in Lebanon, because with us on Skype is Xavier Besset, the coordinator of the Aid to the Church in Need in Syria, Lebanon, and Egypt. Xavier, in the previous episode, we talked a lot about Syria and the situation after earthquake, but you are also a coordinator for Lebanon, where there are a lot of Christians also live. Tell us how the situation of the church and of the Christians looks like there.
So in many ways, the situation of Lebanon is special because it's actually the main country in the Middle East where, because of the large percentage of Christians, which is maybe 30%, Christians have actually quite a lot of cultural influence in the country. In principle, Lebanon is founded upon a balance of power between Christianity and Islam, 50-50. Unfortunately, since 2019, the Christians have been facing two real issues for them. The first one is an economic crisis. In 2019, there was a banking crisis, and most people lost their assets in dollars in the banks. So the country has gone from being a middle-income country to a poor country where most people are living in poverty in a very short period of time. And this is a problem not just for families, for healthcare, for nutrition, but also for the church. The ability of the church to run its schools, to run its hospitals, to run its orphanages, to do its pastoral and social initiatives has been massively impacted. So what we are engaged in doing is trying to make sure that these Catholic institutions do not collapse in Lebanon. The second big issue for Christians in Lebanon is the political situation. For now, there is freedom of religion in Lebanon, and for the most part, freedom of speech. However, there is an active attempt to change the constitutional arrangement of Lebanon, which was agreed upon after the civil war. And we know that, I don't want to talk here about politics, but we know that Hezbollah is the largest military group in the country. And they are actively funded by Iran, which wants to take the country in a different direction. And with the current political crisis, which is that there is no president in the country and no government, and there hasn't been for the past year because they can't agree, Christians are very worried about the direction that the country could go in. And it could go in a bad direction, but we hope it doesn't.
Well, it sounds all like a melting pot with a lot of problems on one hand, but so what is needed? Also, what you as a organization can do for us sort of keeping this balance between Muslims and Christians in Lebanon, or how do you support the church there?
So obviously we don't get into questions of politics, right? This is the job of the local Lebanese church, right, and the local Maronites. But what we are doing is trying to support the church as much as possible in its presence. And so we have a very large program of around 2 million for supporting Catholic schools. The rationale here is that if Catholic schools collapse, especially in very rural areas, this is an implication for remaining very poor Christian communities in these parts of the country. And if the Catholic school collapse, then other institutions funded by other outside powers will move in. So this is one big focus. Second big focus is supporting charitable institutions of the church, because we think that it's very important in this time of poverty for Lebanon that the church makes a statement about its solidarity for the poorest of the poor. Part of Christians proving why they have the right to stay in the Middle East is to say, well, we have something special to offer, which is our focus on the dignity of the person, which is our preferential option for the poor. And the Lebanese church is fantastically talented in that, very professional, very honest. But right now, because of the financial crisis, they don't have the financial resources to continue its mission as they did previously. So this is why our Polish office and ACN is stepping in to support the church in its struggles.
Well, it's wonderful to hear that the there are people and still who not forget about the church in Lebanon, and also here from Poland that we can support the church in Lebanon as well. And the fact that one of the fundamentals of the church and of the Christian community are schools, and that they are trying to not to give up and to create this community and to bring the level of economic standards of their living a little bit higher. Fingers crossed for this. It all sounds like a truly extremely hard job, also just to emotionally not collapse with all of the poverty, but also will distraction is everywhere around you, and you cannot help every single person. But fingers crossed that the aid to the church in need will still cooperate very actively in the whole region. And of course, to all of you, the viewers of Poland Daily Culture, as you can see, Christian schools and Christian education in Lebanon is extremely important. So if you have a chance to support such schools from Poland, then definitely go for it, do it, because as you can hear, it is a crucial part of the faith and the community there in this country. And thank you for watching our show.